Hey guys, this is Justin from Extreme Health Radio. Thanks for joining us, all you YouTube listeners. And I want to let you know, if you would like to grab the show notes for this particular episode, you can do that at extremehealthradio.com/396. And I also want to let you know that this show is brought to you by the Bellicon Rebounders. If you guys are interested in cleansing your lymphatic system, building bone density, and just really having a great cardiovascular cellular exercise, check out the Bellicon Rebounder. It's really an amazing tool. I'm going to do about 25 minutes of it right after this show, or this particular video. But I want to let you know it's available, and they're offering free shipping at the moment. So if you want to go over and check out extremehealthradio.com/Bellicon, that would be amazing, and I would appreciate that so much. I'll put links to these things right here too. And I also want to let you know that thanks to your support via Patreon and checking out products in our store, we are now going to be moving to video podcasts. So you'll be able to watch our entire video in our studio coming very soon. So thank you guys for using our Amazon link, for sharing our shows on Facebook, for writing us iTunes reviews, and for all the amazing ways that you guys have been supporting us. I just can't thank you guys enough, and I want to thank you so much. We couldn't do this show without you. So in any event, we talked about some great things on today's show. We talked about 9/11 conspiracies. We took listener questions, how to kill biofilms in the body, which are these organisms that protect themselves, that keep us sick, and house bacteria and mold. We talked about all these holistic and natural doctors that have been dying, fear-mongering and news media, and how these types of information sources cause us to feel disempowered and protecting ourselves. This was a really fun show with Kate and I, so I hope you enjoy it, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.
You want to do it?
You're gonna do it.
I love that.
Is this on? Oh.
It's on now.
Is it recording? Oh. We have that on?
Oh, yeah. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, muy bien. ¿Y tú?
Muy bien, muy calor.
Sí, mucho calor. Hace mucho calor.
Simón.
What does Simone even mean?
I don't know.
Where did you hear that?
Simone.
What does that mean? Like, yeah, man.
I don't know what it is. I have no idea.
Simone.
But I will tell you that I'm glad this heat wave is going on. We are very spoiled here in California, and whenever the heat wave comes or something like that comes, I feel like we're very spoiled and we complain a lot. But it has been very hot, and we're excited. The heatness is going away.
Oh my God, the heatness is going away.
the heat wave.
How long has this been lasting? Like
a couple weeks.
Yeah,
no, more than that. It feels
like a month.
Yeah, about a month.
Yeah,
it's been pretty hot. But you just busted out your first fall recipe.
Woo!
Tell people about this.
I'm so excited about this. I can't even tell you. Well, first of all, I busted out fall yesterday.
Okay.
So yesterday was September 12th, and I thought, I usually wait till my birthday, which is the last day of fall, or usually the last day of summer, the first day of fall, which is the equinox, September 22nd.
Yes.
And I try to hold off until then to like set up all the fall, because I know that you're trying to hold on to
I'm trying to hold on to summer as long as I possibly can.
And I'm just so over summer and ready for fall at this point, but I understand because I love summer too. But I couldn't wait. I went over to my parents' house yesterday, and my mom had all her fall up. So I thought, okay, it's going to have to be today. So I came home and decorated all our apartment with fall.
You know, you didn't even ask me this year. I have to say, I'm a little...
But you know what's interesting? You've been letting go a bit better. So I didn't feel like I had to. You used to just treat it like a day of mourning.
Yeah, it was like a dark day.
It was the dark day, Justin's dark day.
Justin's dark day.
But you've been really good with letting go of things lately. So I didn't ask you. I just took the initiative and went for it. Are you okay with fall out there?
I'm okay with it. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm learning to embrace every new season. It's there's nothing really that we can do about it, you know. I can't keep the.
There's nothing we can do about it.
I can't keep the summer going. I think in a dream life,
hilarious. Mm-hmm.
I would live in Hawaii, I would live on the beach. I'd have a garden, a house right on the beach with a garden, some chickens, grow my own food, have all my own fruit trees, durian. Mm-hmm. I'd have, what's that? Not durian. What's the,
mango, papaya?
No, what's the one that's really medicinal? That Brian and I
Noni.
ate. Noni. Mm-hmm. And I would have noni, and I would have all the trees. And
noni fruit. I'm with you on that.
And I'd surf all day long, and then I'd come back and prepare some food and dream it all up again.
And that's what you do. That's in the dream life.
That's a paradise life right there.
See, my dream life, I would just live in a
Italian villa.
Okay, I was going to say a maple tree factory where you have maple syrup all day long and fall galore.
Maple syrup all day. That'd be a good diet.
That'd be a bit much, right?
You could probably heal your gut that way.
Maple syrup diet. Have you heard that?
No.
Oh.
But those mono diets always seem to work, you know?
Yeah, like 30 bananas, sure, just maple syrup all day long.
Maple syrup all day.
I would live in a Tuscan villa, and I would learn how to make my own sulfate-free organic wine. Mm-hmm. And then I would just have eternal fall. I would just make sure everything was fall all over the place. So you go do your thing in Hawaii, I'll do my thing in Italy, and we're good to go. But people who come into our place now probably think that we are a good combo of those things. Like
that's true.
Yeah. We're a bit beach and zen in here in this office space, and then out in the living room it's very fall and
tell people about what you just cooked up
okay
here.
So I got very excited about my decorating yesterday, and I thought, what's better than what could be better following up a fall decorating day than eating a pumpkin recipe. So because I'm a bit limited these days, I wanted to do an egg-free and dairy-free pumpkin recipe.
Okay.
So who better than to bust out a recipe of Danielle Walker's, who we've had on the show. Do you know what episode she was?
Danielle Walker.
She was great.
I don't remember what episode she was. She was
last fall.
Was she?
Yeah.
Was she a year ago?
Last fall or last winter, because I was making an apple sauce in the crock pot.
I think it was last winter.
Okay.
Sometime in the winter.
Maybe November or something?
It could have been a year ago, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I busted out one of her recipes on her website, Against All Grain. For those who haven't heard that show, it's a pretty good show. I think they should listen to it.
Yeah, she has a really incredible story of overcoming, what was
ulcerative colitis. Ulcerative, I don't know how.
Colitis.
Ulcerative colitis?
Yes, we'll go with that.
Okay.
That sounds good to me.
But I found a pumpkin pudding, which is egg-free and dairy-free. So I just made it, and it's chilling right now in the fridge.
So what are the ingredients?
Check this out. It's so easy. It's 5 ingredients. It's 5 ingredients fall wonder.
Hey,
That's what I'm calling it.
So you got the pumpkin certified organic pumpkin in a can with a BPA-free lining.
Correct.
But
GMO-free, gluten-free.
But could you get, instead of that, is it possible to get an actual pumpkin and carve out the inside and blend that up?
Oh, yeah.
Could you do that?
Oh, yeah. There's cooking pumpkins. There's pumpkins that are made specifically. Those are the orange, how on the canned pumpkins you always see those perfect-looking pumpkins.
On the cans,
on the front of the can of a pumpkin puree, you're going to see an orange pumpkin. They actually are cooking pumpkins. That's what they're called. And
so
you have
what
to
are the
cook
ones
them.
That you see in Halloween and just all that? What are those?
You can cook those. I mean, they're pumpkins, but there's a specific kind, like a cooking.
Really?
For pumpkin pie. They're like a pumpkin pie pumpkin.
Okay.
Yeah. They're a little different, but they're
different variety.
A little more squashy, a little darker. But you can make anything out of those regular pumpkins. But you basically have to cook the pumpkin, and then you take out the innards and you make it all gushy, and then you can puree that, and it has to be cooked. It's not like a raw inside of the. Would you have just scooped out the pumpkin and tried to blend it up?
Yeah.
Would you have? Oh,
well,
man.
I think people do that because there's raw pumpkin recipes people do.
Well, maybe it's that doesn't seem digestible. That's like eating a raw potato. I don't know about that.
You're probably right. I
think it's more like, I could be wrong, but I usually think it's a processed cooked pumpkin product, and then you're not cooking the recipe further. Like I make a raw pumpkin pie. I'll have to, did I blog about that last year?
You did.
Yeah, I guess it's not raw, but the pumpkin's cooked, but everything else is raw. Like it's a raw crust, it's not baked.
But but you don't cook the.
It's already been cooked, but
I see. So it's
I'll
not
keep
a
it cold.
truly raw pumpkin pie then.
I guess you can't call it that now.
Okay.
But it's not.
But you don't cook it.
I don't cook it after I get it out of the BPA-free.
So your hands are clean.
Oh yeah, this isn't my problem.
This isn't my.
They're gonna
I'm
have to answer to somebody bigger.
Yeah.
So check this out. This is all it is. 1 can of full-fat coconut milk.
Okay.
Which is the one we just talked about. That it's the BPA-free lining, organic yumminess.
No, that was the one coconut milk
Oh,
I was looking at the pumpkin when I
both
read
then.
that.
Both.
Okay.
This is true about both cans because I haven't gotten something out of a can in years. So now that they have this BPA-free lining, I feel so much better about it. Like, I'm not going to do it all the time, but it still makes me feel a bit better.
You know, doesn't it blow you away when you go into someone's house and you see, like, they eat a lot of their food from canned, like just canned food?
Right.
Isn't it bizarre?
I know.
I can't even, it's almost as bizarre when I walk into someone's house and I see someone that has a microwave. Mm-hmm. Or people that, use what do they do? Put styrofoam in microwaves, or those what are those top ramen noodles?
Oh man, those cup of soup. Yeah, and you're you're putting it right in the. Oh,
and they're usually, could you imagine? People are also doing that with like tap water, and they'll put tap water into a styrofoam cup, and with top ramen noodles, it's got all the MSG and all those chemicals in it. And they'll put that in I used to do that.
Me too.
No wonder why we're still recovering from our gut problems.
Oh, I know. You start thinking, why do I have these? You're right.
You know?
I did that for years.
Did you ever see that video online?
That's as bad as the baby bottles with the soy formula, with the plastic non-BPA in the microwave. I mean, that's just gnarly.
Man, that's there was a video online that was going around years ago. I forget what it was. It was something about what happens in your stomach when you eat top ramen noodles. Do you ever see that?
I didn't. I don't want to know.
It's so disgusting, and it's like...
Is there a camera inside someone's belly?
I think they do that, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Does it ever, is it just like expanding and turning into glue or something?
Yeah, it just turns into glue and it's just completely indigestible. It's amazing.
That's horrible.
Amazing. So these BPA-free liners are new? Are they new?
Well, I don't know if they're new, but I feel like we didn't see them 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So they've probably slowly been infiltrating the market.
I know, it's good.
Okay, so check this out. 1 can of full-fat coconut milk. Okay. 3 teaspoons of gelatin. We use the Great Lakes gelatin. It's amazing.
We like that.
I'm trying not to do a lot of animal products at all right now, but whatever. You pick your battles.
Yeah.
1 1/4 cup of pure pumpkin puree.
Okay.
And then either 1/3 cup of honey, which I use raw local honey from the farmer's market, or 1/3 cup of maple syrup. Next time I think I'll split that 1/3 cup in half and do half honey, half maple syrup.
Why is that?
Just give it a little different flavor.
And it would be good too. There's different minerals, lots of B vitamins, I think, in maple syrup, and so you're getting some enzymes and stuff in the honey. I know,
right?
So it's
Isn't
kind
that
of
yummy?
like you get kind of 2 nutrients there.
Yum.
Yeah.
So you get that, and then the last thing is a teaspoon of the pumpkin pie spice, which that's a mix of like allspice, cloves, cinnamon, cardamom, just amazing yumminess. And then that's it.
That makes me want to cut the show short here and go eat.
Oh, it's going to be waiting for you when we're done, right?
Seriously, right?
Yeah. I skipped over her step. There's a few steps you have to do to dissolve this gelatin, and then you whisk it over a medium heat, and you don't let it boil or anything. But when she says to pour the mixture that you make into a large heat-proof bowl, she puts a piece of plastic wrap directly on the top of it to prevent a gelatin skin, she calls it, from forming on the top.
Who's this?
This is Danielle.
Danielle Walker? Mm-hmm. Puts plastic over the top?
Apparently.
Okay.
There might be a plastic wrap that's, chemical free. I'm sure she's pretty aware of that. But I'm like, I don't care. So I just put it directly into the fridge right now, and it's setting, and afterward you end up using a hand mixer or a beater anyway.
Okay.
To blend it all in 6 hours after it's completely chilled, so you can make it smooth and creamy. And I'm willing to take that risk instead of putting plastic right on top of that. So doesn't that sound amazing?
It sounds really good. So that's going to turn into like a pudding?
Oh, this is a pudding. This is going to be amazing. This is a pudding.
I want to eat copious amounts of pumpkin pie this coming up holiday season.
Copious. I will make you pumpkin pie after pumpkin pie. I make the best raw crust too with dates and honey.
What do you put in there? Dates and almond flour or coconut flour?
I used coconut flour because I don't do as great with the almonds.
Okay.
I'm starting to be able to eat a few more almond products, but I'm really picky. But yeah, you could do almond flour or coconut flour. I really eyeball it. I'm kind of funny. Like, I just kind of make stuff up now. But I put a couple of dates in there. I put some water. I blend it all in our food processor. I add in, let's see, it's been a long time, some spices. And let's see, dates. I know there's more than that. I've written this down, or I've journaled about it, so I'm gonna have to bust that out. But
you know what, though, I do like
tasty.
The different kinds of foods, because I'm gonna start getting into coffee.
Oh, and honey and maple syrup,
and doing some other like bone broth. That'll be nice. We haven't had chicken soup in a long time.
Chicken soup sounds phenomenal right now.
Yeah, that would be really good. I love the fall
make
foods.
that for dinner. Don't you love the fall foods?
Yeah, but the problem is with
shepherd's
fall, shepherd's pie. But the problem with fall is or the wintertime is the fruits just are non-existent. But you have berries though; those are good. You
have berries, and you know what? Today I was at the local market, and there was these amazingly ripe red pears. The red kind.
Oh, those are so good.
So see, there are fall. Yeah. I get kind of sick of apples and pears and berries after a while. And like right now we're on this like papaya, mango, banana kick.
Oh man.
In the morning.
I could eat so much of that.
I know.
Oh.
But you know what? We're learning to roll with the seasons, aren't we?
Yeah, well, we tried to get a mango today, and no dice.
No dice.
God says no.
God
you don't
says
need
no.
a mango today.
So we didn't push it, did we?
So we didn't even introduce the show.
Well,
this is episode
good people.
395, or no, 396,
396.
Right? And so if you want to grab the show notes of everything we talk about, you can do that at extremehealthradio.com/396.
We'll put a link to her recipe too, right?
Yes.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, that would be good.
Take care of business.
That's who is that? That's the
Against All Grain.
Yeah, that's right. And I want to let everyone know too that there's a few summits coming up that I think you guys should really check it out. Summits are always free as long as I think each replay or each version of the summit is available for about 24 hours. So coming up first, we have the Organifi launch. And that is from Drew Canoli and a former guest on our show. I think it was episode 3 or 173 or something like that.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, he runs fitlife.tv. Incredibly well sculpted young man, very fit.
That's a great way to
put it.
Very
well chiseled jaw. But no, he's a cool guy.
Do you have a man crush?
he's my man crush. But he runs.
By the way, I appreciate men that appreciate other people's good looks and not think it's like a homophobia thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I think that's great that guys can, or that they're even not intimidated or jealous of somebody, and they can just appreciate another person's look. So
well, he
right
does
on.
have a rippling chest.
He does have a rippling chest.
And a strong washboard stomach.
Should I be worried?
No.
So you could have said washboard, but you had to add the strong in, and that makes me a little nervous. Just kidding.
No, we love Drew Canoli. He's cool.
We do. So what's this product?
Organifi. It's a green powder, which we're going to be trying out in the next couple days. I'll let you guys know about it. I'm not going to actively promote it until we try it. So we're going to be getting our shipment in, our shipment in here in the next few days. Let me go and see here what's in it. It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Organifi.
Has this been in the works for a long time, or?
Yeah, I believe that we tried it because remember we went and hung out with Larry from Be Well Buzz.
That's right.
Larry and his his wife?
Yeah, wife, right?
Yeah, Oksana from Be Well Buzz. Organifi. Let's see what it is here. Oh, it's Organifi with an I. Let's see here. There's a lot of really cool ingredients, but I can't find what they are right now. Here we go. Ingredients. And so it's got chlorella, moringa, spirulina, mint, beet, matcha green tea, wheatgrass, ashwagandha, turmeric, lemon, coconut water, and monk fruit. Monk fruit's almost like a sweetener.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, so I think we tried it at Larry's house when we were down there.
I think you tried it.
I think this was like the beta version, but I just want to try it again before we promote it. But
yeah, I hear you.
It's really cool because he, if you don't have a juicer, it's a really great product that blends right into your.
Are you getting? I mean, I know you're not getting like everything that you would get in a juice, but is it pretty close? Do you think to what your body would gain from having a daily juice?
Well, I was thinking about this the other day at the gym because I'm so looking forward to getting this in the mail and trying it. But we'll do a video about it too. But I was thinking in the same way that you wouldn't make the same juice every day, they should probably have like a couple different versions of this so that they can have, people can cycle through and have different.
That'd be a great idea.
Versions of it, yeah. Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's happening September 15th to the 29th. I'll put a link on this show page too for you guys. And then from September 28th to October 5th is the Holistic Oral Health Summit. And you can go to extremehealthradio.com/oral health And there's Dr. Nunley's on that episode or that summit, and so is Lane Freeman.
Nice.
So that's going to be really cool. If you have any oral or dental issues, I would recommend really checking those out, as well as if you want to prevent anything from going on, you get access to it for free every night. So I would highly recommend checking out the Holistic Oral Health Summit, September 28th to October 5th. And then this is the big one that I'm looking forward to.
Okay. Pumpkin Pie Summit. Oh.
It's the Drew Canoli Summit with pumpkin pie.
Well, no, that's the perfect summit, isn't it?
The truth about cancer.
Oh, totally.
This one is going to be awesome. And I was on the phone.
TTAC, as we call it.
TTAC. And I was on the phone with Ty Bollinger the other day, and he was on his way to Florida to interview two people who I think you're going to just love in the summit. And he was telling me all about, he went to a clinic in Lafayette. And by the way, do you know Lafayette is the same place as where, what is his name? The guy that built the Coral Castle, Ed Leeds Skalman?
No way.
Yeah.
That's where he's from?
Lafayette.
Really?
Yeah.
Where is that?
Lafayette's, I think it's a former Russian country.
Okay.
But somewhere in...
I can't picture on the map, but I've heard about it forever. But
yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Lafayette. So anyway, he went to Lafayette, and there's some sort of what is it? Not bee venom therapy. I forget what it is. It's something where they're treating stage 4 cancers. I think it was at 94% success rate. And with
94%.
Odd cancers like skin cancers, leukemia, crazy stuff. 94% success rate.
Wow.
So anyway, this is all going to be in the Truth About Cancer Summit, October 13th to the 23rd. And if you want to register, you can go to extremehealthradio.com/truthaboutcancer, and you can watch the video trailer for the entire summit, which is all free on that website. Really cool.
I love Ty Bollinger.
Isn't he cool?
Wish I could have talked with him. How long did you guys talk for?
We talked. He was in the airport. It was loud, but we talked for about a half hour.
Oh, Ty's such a good guy.
Waiting for his flight. I told him, hey, man. What was that?
There was a piece of paper that made a squeak. Sorry.
I was telling him, hey, man, wear Bulletproof Vest or something when you go down to Florida.
Why? Oh.
Because all these people are all these holistic doctors.
Have you heard of any new cases lately?
Yeah, there's one recently.
No.
Health Nut News. Aaron runs this website.
What is going on with all these doctors? They're all in Florida, or is it the East Coast? I think it's East Coast, right?
Wait a second. This guy died too?
Wait, what? Let me go to this.
Well, this guy I've known about for years.
What's his name?
What the heck?
What? Healthnutnews.com?
Yeah, HealthNut. Oh my gosh, I just went there. This is brand new. This guy, we were going to have him on our show.
No.
The Healing Power of Living Foods. This guy's a big wheatgrass guy.
Found killed? Along with his wife and kids?
No, this is a different guy. It took me a few days to write this story on Steve Meyerowitz, a.k.a. Sproutman, as I'd been fortunate enough to talk with this amazing man, vegan and author of blah, blah, blah. I was a fan.
What?
Author and nutritionist Steve Meyerowitz, 59, was killed Wednesday night when the car he was driving collided with a pickup truck on Route 7 in Falls Village, Connecticut.
What?
Meyerowitz was known as the Sprout Man, was pronounced dead at Sharon. The driver of the pickup truck, a Torrington man, was treated for internal injuries and later transported to Hartford Hospital. Meyerowitz became known as the Sprout Man. He was on our list of people to interview.
You're kidding me.
After a New York City reporter who interviewed him was amazed by the impressive array of sprouts and herbs he grew in his own use in his own house. Adopting the Sprout Man moniker, he started natural foods business in New York City in 1977. The young Meyerowitz suffered from debilitating allergies and health issues, and found by eating no meat or animal-related foods, his physical condition improved. What the heck? There's no denying of his great attitude, good health, and zest for life, and we here at Health Nut News know the world will not be the same without him. And then did you see the other one about this other guy?
About Mr. Short?
What is his name? Yeah, I read that the other day.
I cannot believe this just happened on the 12th, so a couple days ago. The Short family was found murdered in their home. She says, I didn't feel like going down this rabbit hole, so I didn't even do a search on what Mr. Short did for a living. After half a dozen followers have now sent me articles, I could not help but look. Then today I found out he was the owner of a very large, well-known health and social media site for nurses. My heart goes out to all his friends and family. I sat here all evening deciding whether to do a story on this, but the first time I saw the CNN video as to what allegedly happened, I felt something was off with the story. Apparently my readers and followers of the website agreed. We'll just stick with the facts like usual. Like I said, I have with the holistic doctor stories, I broke along with the 29 poisoned holistic doctors who survived. Yes, German news confirmed some were doctors and naturopaths at a holistic health conference. That was a whole other thing.
Yeah, that was 30 people that were hospitalized. I was telling you about that. Remember when we were going to the gym the other day?
Yeah.
I was telling you about that.
Was it in Germany?
I don't know. I didn't even read the story. I just saw the headline.
Poisoned? She said Brian Short was the founder of a very high-traffic website called allnurses.com with millions of unique visitors a month. You can look at the video on the site to see how it linked other nurses together so that they could form a network and share information. By the way, if anyone has any other information, you can contact her. Him and his family were found murdered. Oh my gosh.
What's up with that? Is it just a coincidence that all these things are happening right now, or what's going on with all this stuff?
Man.
We should tell Dr. Bergman to be on the lookout. Be on the lookout.
Why is it all happening? It doesn't say where this. Does it say where this was? South Lake Minnetonka's. Wow.
And that Meyerowitz, the Sprout guy, was in New York.
What's going on with the East Coast? I'm a little concerned about this.
I know, it's bizarre.
Police found Karen Short, 48, and all three children, Cole, 17, Madison, 15, and Brooklyn, 14, dead in their bedrooms. Brian Short, 45, was found dead in the home's 8-car garage. The Hennepin County Medical Examiner ruled Saturday that all 5 died from gunshot wounds to the head, and that only Brian's Short's wound was self-inflicted. So that's what they're saying, that it was a murder-suicide thing. Wow, that's crazy.
But then there is no supporting evidence that corroborates any suspicion that there was anything wrong with him psychologically. There's no hints.
No reason.
I mean, I guess it's possible for people to carry these things out and have these internal demons, but this is just bizarre. I mean, it's happening so much. And did you see the other article there that was talking about there's nothing conclusive saying that Dr. Gonzalez died of a heart attack?
No.
Yeah, so they're doing further testing to find out what it was.
Are they really?
But the initial thought was that he died of a heart attack, but
now they don't know.
But now the autopsy's not showing that, so they're doing further tests.
This is really sketchy. This is really, really, really weird. Wow. Well, on that news, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Wow. Everyone be careful out there. I mean, I know, what can you really do, but...
Do you think that they're directing scalar weaponry like, what is that website? Project Camelot talks about?
Wouldn't be surprised. I become the biggest like conspiracy theorist, realist, whatever you want to call him. Like, yeah. I believe anything. When I first heard that, you first told me about that, it's like I couldn't even comprehend what you were saying because it's such a bizarre...
Oh, how they allegedly direct those energies to people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wouldn't cause your heart to give out or to have an aneurysm. I mean, whatever they're trying to do to people. I mean, it's totally possible. Is it happening? I don't know. It seems pretty far-fetched, but...
How would they do that? I mean, I'm just not versed in the science and the schematics of how all that works. I mean, is it...
You're not a scalar wave studier?
Yeah, it's been a while since I've brushed up on scalar technology. But
So it's basically directing something at someone at a distance on a frequency that will, like, kill them?
Yeah.
How far away does the person have to be? Like,
I don't know, but with the Rife technology, remember when we went to talk to what's his name?
Andy?
No, a friend a friend of yours who has a clinic here in Mission Viejo.
A friend of mine who has a clinic in Mission Viejo?
And he did some work on you with peanut allergies. Remember that?
In San Juan?
No, it was
a friend of mine.
Yeah, someone you know that has a clinic. I think they used to get their hair done by you.
What?
Yeah.
Not George.
Yeah. What's
Neurowaves?
Neurowaves.
That's in San Juan.
Well, we went to Mission Viejo, somewhere out there. Remember that? It was over by, anyway.
Okay.
But he was talking about using his machine to
that's right.
In non-local areas too.
That's right.
So I don't know if it's possible. I can't imagine.
So that's a rife he had doing that back then, huh?
Yeah, I mean, that's just bizarre. I don't know what they're doing.
Wow, interesting.
It's really strange.
That makes me really nervous. It just keeps happening. I wonder what do you know what the total death toll is of the holistic doctors on the East Coast?
No, I don't.
Why is this not making mainstream news?
I don't think so. It's bizarre, huh?
It makes me feel like it's like when something happens in a city or across a few cities where there's some like sniper who's just taking people out. The minute it gets to like 3 people, it's all over the news. Like, watch out for the sniper. Weird things are happening. Like, you think that until they caught this person or whatever it was that was killing people, you think that it would be top news. So it's like there's been more than a dozen now, right, of these doctors on the East Coast being picked off.
Yeah.
It seems like, or dying a very strange, quote, natural.
But they're so isolated in terms of not having any connection to any one event.
I guess, yeah.
That since they're so isolated, they probably don't make the news.
That's just weird though, because, yeah, I guess, yeah. Yeah.
It's weird.
I was going to say, if you had some guy like, killing people at bus stops from here to like, from California to Seattle, you think that even though they're 3 states apart, you'd be like, wow, it seems like all these people, they all have one thing in common, that's sitting at a bus stop. Like, all these people have something in common on the East Coast. They're all holistic doctors. I mean, there's something tying them together, which is weird.
It is weird, isn't it?
That really creeps me out. I don't like it. Bizarre. Such a bummer. I feel for gosh, what's going on?
And today, not today, yesterday is the anniversary of 9/11.
Oh, right.
So yesterday, no, 2 days ago, Friday. Wow. Yeah. September 11th was a Friday. Was September 11th, 2001 a Friday?
Tuesday.
It was a Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
That's right, Tuesday, September 11th, yeah. Wow. 9/11. How
did you feel about 9/11 this year? Anything change for you?
Well, we've learned a lot. Yeah,
I've learned a lot.
I don't know what happened. I think that day was probably one of the most confusing days in all of history.
Don't you?
One of the most confusing times, because nothing like that had ever been done on a scale like that before. Mm-hmm. With really anywhere. I mean, maybe Hiroshima, Nagasaki, but there wasn't. I mean, even though in 2001 we didn't have media like we have now. Back then, there wasn't as much media. As many cameras and coverage and footage and all that kind of stuff with those bombs. But I don't know. We watched a documentary a while back called Psy-Opera and Psychological Operation, Psychological Warfare. And
I was still waiting for the first 5 minutes. I'm like, what kind of opera? Oh, not that kind of opera.
It's Operation. But it just it went into the whole notion and puts forth some pretty interesting ideas that there were actually no planes in the events that occurred in 9/11. And he goes through. He's a videographer and a producer of chroma key and green backlit stuff, and really, really fascinating ideas about there may have not have been any planes in 9/11. So
minus the cheesy songs, in my opinion, I thought it was one of the best.
Yeah.
One of the best. I think that was the best documentary I've ever watched on 9/11.
Interesting. It's about 4 hours long. Remember that?
Yeah, it was forever.
I watched it
broke
twice.
It up over like 5 days of sitting in the sauna. Yeah, you watched it twice, huh?
Yeah, it was
interesting.
Really interesting. What do you think?
I'm like you. I don't know what to think anymore. I don't know what happened that day. I think it was the most mysterious day probably that ever existed. Like, things blow my mind. That I'm very curious about mysteries like the pyramids and, what's really going on and what those were really, but it didn't happen in a day. Like, this had to be the weirdest, most confusing, mysterious day, in my opinion, of all time. Like,
right.
In our lifetime, what we think happened versus what really happened, I don't know. I would have loved to be, if it's true that there was like a parting of the Red Sea back in the day or whatever, I would have loved to be around for that. That would have been a very mysterious day as well. But like in our lifetime, it's pretty strange, giving the reality that we saw this thing on TV, but then to be kind of faced with questioning whether what you see on TV is actually real at all or not anymore. Like, just because we have TV and you think that's real, it's still not an eyewitness. So,
I mean, it's amazing what they can do with TV. I mean, you watch any reality show and they splice together, some reaction that's caught by some person on a reality show. They put it in the promo for that episode after someone else says something to them. And so it's not even related, but it's assumed,
Right. Something weird going on. It's a lot of weird going on. Well, I had the weirdest thought brushing my teeth this morning. You were still actually sleeping, and I was up early to walk with my friend on the beach. But I thought, it's funny how my brain is just forever changed now, thinking of new things. But I thought with this whole ayahuasca, ibogaine, psychedelic world, spirit molecule, they're calling it. And was that a documentary?
That's a documentary,
The Spirit Molecule? That was really good.
Yeah.
Basically, they're talking about it maybe possibly being the missing piece, like to the spirit, the God connection,
Right.
But I thought, wouldn't that be crazy if the tree of good and evil, or whatever I guess it's referenced to in the Garden of Eden, that Eve wasn't supposed to touch? What if it was just
a mushroom?
What if it was that? No, what if it was like a plant? What if it was a plant of like, now you know the mind of God? Because that's what it made it sound like. When you pick this fruit, you will know the difference. You'll have the mind of God and know the difference and be able to see evil and good. Well, isn't that kind of what ibogaine and ayahuasca does? It opens you up to this godlike experience where you're able to see things almost in a different realm, in a different mind. And I'm like, wow, wouldn't that be interesting if that was a real true story? If that was a biblical account of what happened, but it wasn't a stupid apple. Like, what if it was a plant medicine?
Well, it's funny, people think it's an apple, and the Bible never says it was an apple.
The Bible never says an apple.
Yeah,
Why do we portray it as an apple?
I think it's because artists just took up that moniker.
Michelangelo loved the apple. He loved to paint apples.
Good. Yeah, that's an interesting thought. You had that this morning?
Yeah, brushing my teeth. But I thought, wouldn't that be interesting if that's what if that was the box that was open, that she opened, and then was like, well, you know too much now. Now you're going to be forced to sort through life and do life down here because you've opened something, which is strange because I'm like, okay, well, obviously it was created to be discovered, because why would God create a plant or any kind of a tree or any kind of an experience and say, well, don't touch it, and then they touch it? Obviously it's like when you tell somebody they can't do something, they're going to want to do it more.
Right.
So that might have just been the master plan of like, sure, like then all humans are going to be on this experience and this trip, and they're going to grow from it, and it's the ultimate plan, and that's fine. But I still find it weird. That's how I feel about all psychedelics right now. In my mind, I'm like, man, they seem to be used for such good and healing. Mm-hmm. Why would God create something, put it on this earth not to be touched? Like, and then people give it such a bad name and call it a drug and talk about it, frying your brain. And people are just very either uneducated or it doesn't have anything to do with the Garden of Eden. I don't know. I've just been thinking about it.
All that comes from media,
Right.
All this propaganda we get sold.
Or it comes from, even if people have had this thought about that being the fruit or whatever you want to call it that Eve took and it all went to hell from there, like then that scares the crap out of people because they're like, oh my gosh, it's in the Bible, God said not to do it. But what if that's not true? Like, what if God never said that?
Yeah. I mean,
here we are beating ourselves up, but what if that was just meant to open our eyes in the first place, and yet that's the media that's been feeding the fear all along, when that's the missing piece for people to connect on this earth plane to the higher power.
Well, Genesis was written by allegedly Moses 2,000 years after, I think at least 2,000 years after the creation. The creation. If people, a lot of people, most people think the Earth is much older, but people
or round.
There are some people. Some people think the Earth is round, but people think that the Earth is 6,000 years old, and so those people think that Moses. In any way you slice it, why are psychedelics? Why are they so banned? They're
really banned.
Look at alcohol, or look at any other. It's always the mind-altering substances that get banned, and it's almost as if they're trying to keep us from going within and learning and exploring more about ourselves. I'm surprised they don't make float tanks. Because that's illegal. It's almost kind of psychedelic if you...
I love that you said that. Why are they making mind-expanding substances banned? But it's true. Mind-altering substances or books that alter your mind, books that alter your thinking, anything. Those the banned books, like
banned books.
It does seem very, very intentional,
doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. All this banning of things, and not wanting people to connect with what they're really all about. Because man, when you find your connection with God on a new level, or your soul, which I think can't exist without. I think they're both intertwined so heavy. You're a different person. The world would be different. Everything's different.
Yeah.
Imagine the power they don't want. Whoever they are, they don't want that kind of power out there.
Marijuana
seems really intentional.
Is a made-up political word. That's banned. That's eventually that's going to become legal, but they can't stop the tide of people wanting that and the tax revenue. Really, it's all just about the tax revenue that they want from the sale of and the regulation of it.
Do you think it's that more than they're afraid of people's minds being opened? What do you think it's more? Money? They both seem to be. Those are both two really strong drives for a big corporation.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really understand. I don't know. That's such a question that's so deep, because you gotta figure out who's the actual people, who are they that are making these decisions, and what are their motivations? Because originally, marijuana was called marijuana because it came from Mexico, right? And it was a drug that they were saying that black slaves were taking and raping white women
because they're out of their mind.
And then it was being used for printing press and for paper, and dollar bills were printed on it, and all of our founding fathers used it and grew it and promoted it. And then William Randolph Hearst was having some issues with his newspaper, and as a result, put out a bunch of propaganda saying all these harmful things about marijuana because he didn't want his competitors to print on hemp. And so that was one of the reasons why. But then he didn't realize there was a distinction between hemp and marijuana and all these things. And so I don't know why it continued, but it's so bizarre because I don't even think you can take ayahuasca. You can go to there's a place in Arizona, the Santo Daimoni. What do they call it? The Santo Daimoni, or?
Oh, I think that's right, Saint Domain. Yeah.
Something like that. Where there's a part of the Catholic Church that actually administers ayahuasca.
That's right. Dr. Dan.
Dr. Dan talked about that.
Was talking about that.
But why do you have to go down to do ayahuasca tours and have this go to these other countries for this experience?
Very weird. I don't know why other countries are still okay with that.
I know. Well, it's weird. Well, I think they like the money coming from the tourism. Would you ever do anything like that?
I don't know. Sure. I'm sure I would, but yeah, it's a little trippy to me. It would be a little weird. You enter into it knowing that
Talk about letting go.
Yeah. Talk about letting go. Yeah, I probably would. I don't know. It's called out to me stronger in the past, and it probably will again in the future. But right now, I feel like, I'm so okay. I'm still doing so much internal work right now, but it's coming out in different avenues through journaling and meditation and walks and connecting with nature and God. And I feel okay with that. I know it could go a whole ton of levels deeper, but right now I feel like that's just fine where I'm at.
I've heard people talk about it, where it's like what you can accomplish through all those things that you just talked about in 10 years, you can accomplish in 3 hours with ayahuasca.
See, now that's where I'm like, you're just an idiot wasting your time.
But, I don't know. I think one day I'm going to do it for sure.
Yeah, you feel called to it?
I will do it, yeah. Okay. It's just a matter of when it works out to go down there. But for sure, I will try that.
It's going to be a trip.
Yeah, I think so.
But sometimes it is to me, it's sometimes about the process. Sure, it might take 3 hours instead of 10 years, but man, some of those processes are so powerful that I personally need that amount of time to go through to have it be as powerful as it is. I'm sure that with those situations, it's so intense and it's so amazing that you're reflecting on it for years after, so you're still being affected. But I think either you're going to have the experience, reflect on it for years after, and pick it apart, or you're just going to go the slow route through it and still come to the same conclusion if you're open.
Yeah,
yeah. Same pilgrim, just different journey.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Let's see. We've got a couple things to get to. Some emails here. We've got quite a bit of emails. Do you want to...
Can I go get to my chia seed pudding and bring it in for a real quick?
Yeah, let me just pause this real quick.
Okay, so we're back from our break here. Our 2-second break of running out to get chia pudding.
Oh, yeah.
You found this last night. I had to mention to people at the health food store. Artisanal, gluten-free chia pudding by Dowd Rogers. It has coconut milk, palm sugar.
How do you say that? Dowd?
Dowd, D-O-W-D, Rogers. It's a brand. Which, by the way, is from our it's totally made from Fun Fresh Foods Incorporated in San Clemente, California.
We should go there and
have some fun with our food.
Eat some chia seed pudding.
Eat some chia seed. Check this out, though. This is amazing. This is what's in it. Raw chia seed, coconut palm sugar, vanilla powder, coconut milk powder, which is coconut milk and tapioca syrup. But basically, it's this combined yumminess, and you put it into a bowl with tablespoons of water, and then you let it congeal, and it becomes pudding instantly, and it's really, really good.
You know what you should combine that with is coconut milk.
Oh, I just tried that.
Oh, yeah, you added something.
I actually added some of the pumpkin puree, which is coconut milk, into that, and it's absolutely phenomenal.
I love it.
So I'm happy. I'm happy, and ready to read our latest Facebook shares.
Nice. Who you got?
So these are the people who shared recently. Thank you ahead of time, guys, for everyone who's going to share.
Yes.
But the latest ones are Faith Annette King Gibson. What a great name.
Mm-hmm.
Rick Price, Tamara Brown II, Kim Thehoff, Patrick Caraway, Roxanne Steele Mills, Gluten, Sugar, Dairy-Free Lifestyle.
That's our friend Michelle.
Hey, that's our Michelle DeBerge. That's our Michelle. Yay. Rhiannon Brubaker, Carla Rodriguez Saldana, and Shirley Weiss.
Awesome.
So thanks, you guys.
Yeah, thank you for sharing our stuff.
Thank you.
I love that. That really helps us a lot.
And then here,
what do you got?
Our latest iTunes review. This is pretty cool. Posted August 16th by Paula Hope 22 from the U.S. She said, class act. I love Justin and Kate. They consistently put out the best interviews and cutting-edge information for you, ultimate health and wellness. They are the go-to podcast. Justin and Kate are so calm and relaxed. They practice what they preach. Keep up the great work.
Nice.
How nice is that?
That's awesome.
Yeah, guys, if you can keep those iTunes reviews coming, we really appreciate them.
Yeah.
Really appreciate them.
If you go to extremehealthradio.com/iTunes, that will, and yeah, you just log into iTunes and send us a review, because it really, like a rating, and subscribe to us there on iTunes, and that really helps us a lot. People don't realize that when people search for podcasts on iTunes, and you know, a lot of how they determine which podcasts come up number one in the search is how many ratings and reviews they have. So, what's this guy's name? Paul Hope? Paula. Nice, thank you.
Thank you, Paula. That's awesome.
That helps so much.
I got a cool email too from Amber, a listener.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Kate, I wanted to tell you, if you're still interested in numerology, I just read a book called The Life You Were Born to Live by Dan Millman. It's totally blown away any other numerology book I've read. So that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, Dan Millman wrote Way of the Peaceful Warrior, you said?
Yeah, we'll put links to those. The Way of the Peaceful Warrior.
Thanks,
and
Amber.
The Life You Were Born to Live by Dan Millman.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't know that was a... I read Way of the Peaceful Warrior, and I read there's a second book called The Way of Socrates or something. Okay. You ever notice how, like, I don't know, sequels and... They just are not as good. I feel like, they try to just basically come up with the same thing, but... do it. So that book was not, I did not like that book.
Oh, you tried it? Or did you actually finish it?
I did read it. Yeah, I finished it. And it was sort of like, I loved, what was that book? Atlas Shrugged.
I was going to say, is it like Ayn Rand?
Yeah, and then I tried Fountainhead. I just was not into it. I mean, Fountainhead's about 800 pages or something like that. And
so which one did you like? You liked Fountainhead, but you didn't like the other one?
Other way around.
Oh, okay.
Fountainhead. I'm not sure the order in which she wrote those books, but for me, it was the second experience reading one of her books, and it was like this, the Way of Socrates. I mean, The Way of the Peaceful Warrior is the best book.
Yeah. I know when you find something, you don't want to ruin it by... You almost I feel like that right now about Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird, her new one, Go Set a Watchman.
Is that already out?
Yeah, it came out like a month ago.
Really? How's it doing on the reviews?
People love it.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know though, but To Kill a Mockingbird was such a classic. I'm sure most people, but I mean, she wrote it apparently before To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh,
I think
really?
that's the word on the street.
When was that written? When were they both written? Back in the 30s or something? 50s?
Mm-hmm. I think. I could be wrong. 50s?
Yeah. That's weird, isn't it?
I'm not sure. But I know, because I'm kind of dragging my feet on it. But I don't know. I'm also willing to give it a shot because it's such a classic. But yes, I mean, you could say that of what you said about Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged. Those are classics. But I don't know. When you really resonate with one, you almost don't want to cheapen it or ruin it. It's like going to see a bad sequel to a movie sometimes.
I know, right?
You're like, oh, why did I do that? I want to leave with like
Dumb and Dumber 2.
Dumb and Dumber 2.
We didn't see that one, but
I couldn't do it.
I'm looking forward to Zoolander 2, though.
I am too.
But
I am too.
did you read? So you haven't read Way of the Peaceful Warrior yet?
No.
Okay. Probably should read that.
Oh, I think you're right.
Oh, I wonder when. But this looks good.
I wonder when.
The Life You're Born to Live looks really good too.
It does, huh?
Dan Millman, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I like it. Thanks, Amber.
Thanks, Amber.
All right, we got another email here. I'm listening to your show with Robert von Sarbacher. I was wondering if you guys found the Methuselah to get rid of biofilm. I healed breast cancer myself and want to make sure I get rid of any biofilms that are inside of me. Thank you for your help. Interesting. Yeah, we get so many emails about that Robert von Sarbacher show.
He's quite popular show.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of him. He was the nicest guy. You weren't on. Have we talked to him twice? But you weren't on those shows, were you?
I don't think so.
I talked with him off the air for about an hour, and I have to say that he was so passionate. He almost turned up his intensity. Because you listen to the show, he's really into what he's talking about. And but off the air, it was almost like I had a bunch of things I had to do, and I couldn't get him to stop talking about.
No way.
Yeah, he's super into what he was doing, but people write in all the time like, hey, I'm trying to get a hold of Robert von Sarbacher. And if you go to his site...
Yeah, I've seen... What's up with this site? People say they can't get a hold of him?
Yeah, and it starts to make me wonder if he's legit or if he's like...
What is his site?
It's just a picture of him and a couple...
No, but what's it called? Like, how do I get to it?
Oh, it's robertvon.com.
VON?
Yeah. And so people write in all the time, hey, I've been trying to get a hold of Robert von Sarbacher. I've listened to the show. You know, I've written him for 6 months, and I just haven't heard anything. What's up with that guy? And I have to say, I don't know, because, you know, we connect with the guests, but we don't keep up to date all the time with what they're all doing all the time. And
Didn't somebody say that they actually did hear from him?
Someone said just recently they were able to get a hold of him, and so I don't know what the experience that person's having with him.
Is he trying to stay off the radar? Is that why his site's so strange?
I don't know. I don't know if he's like, if it's a scam. I don't think he's scamming anybody.
How are you able to get to him for this website?
I just wrote him, and his email is at the bottom of his Mini Beat Protocol article. Wow. And I just wrote him, and he wrote back.
Interesting. But, he's young, yeah?
Yeah. But Biofilms, this Methuselah product that he talks about is able to kill biofilms. So biofilms, like, you can kill biofilms allegedly with things like apple cider vinegar. Have you ever heard of false black pepper?
No.
There's something called false black pepper. It's a black pepper, but I don't know why they say false black pepper.
Something masquerading as black pepper?
Yeah, it's like a fake,
it's like a Halloween costume. Fake pepper.
Cloves do that. Proteolytic enzymes on an empty stomach help. Maybe that's something that you and I should both focus on too, with biofilms. Because biofilms is what holds candida in, infections, gut problems.
Well, doesn't Dr. Jennifer Daniels claim that her protocol with turpentine kills biofilms?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, yeah. Interesting,
I don't know what to say about that. So he was on the show twice?
He might have been on the show twice. Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay.
He's written a bunch of articles for our site, too, that are pretty popular.
Oh, yeah, he has, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, interesting.
And we got another question from Ronnie. He says, hey, is there a phone number to call in to listen to the radio show? I'm a logger, and I live way up in the mountains with my motorhome.
No way.
I move whenever the work is done and rarely have more than 1 bar of cell phone service and never 3G. My work is extremely strenuous, but since I started listening to Dr. Robert Kassar, my energy levels have gone up drastically. I have not eaten meat now in 6 months. I have gained muscle and increased definition. My body fat percentage has gone down a lot. I'm 26, in the best shape of my life. I'm trying to transition over to raw vegan.
Wow.
Right now, I do cook purple rice and quinoa. That was the end of his email.
That's the end of the email?
Yeah.
A logger.
That's cool, right?
Wow, you never know who you meet, do you?
Lives up in the mountains. Ronnie. That's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, Dr. Robert Kassar. Talk about a fireball. That guy.
I wasn't on that one either, was I? Wow,
No,
he's living in Hawaii or somewhere?
He's living on the big island of Hawaii, yeah.
Maybe I was on that one?
He was... I remember talking off the air with him, too, for hours. He just was a ball of energy.
Our friend Bo Wong that came over to stay with us for a while, she was talking about she couldn't get enough of watching his YouTube videos.
Oh, really?
Like, remember how she's Australian, so she had the accent of Kazaa.
Yeah.
I'm like, who is this Dr. Kazaa you keep mentioning? And it was actually, because we say Kassar. But
right.
I just laughed so hard. But he has some interesting things to say. That guy is super into what he's doing. And
yeah, he's pretty fascinating guy.
And he has really good abs.
He does.
Him and Drew Canoli should hang out.
Yeah, have an ab contest.
They should have an ab product. The how-to.
The
how-to-abs.com.
How to get an abs like him.
Speaking of Jennifer Daniels, I have an email here.
Cool.
Hi, Kate and Justin. Were you done?
Yeah.
Okay. I did not catch why Dr. Jennifer Daniels was banished to Panama. Could you enlighten me why this happened, and is it normal for a former doctor in her status to have this happen? Have you had any listeners write in since then saying that the turpentine has actually helped them? I didn't find any studies by Ms. Daniels that shows that turpentine can be used as an antifungal. All of it seemed to be storytelling, and yet she has a background in medicine. I would think that if she would want to prove her hypothesis somehow. I'm suffering from what I believe to be candida, so if there have been any well-documented solutions, I would be eternally grateful. Thanks, Kevin. Was she actually banished to Panama? I don't think I got that from the interview.
I think she chose to go there. There was something. What was her story? I forget.
I don't know. We talked to so many people.
Yeah, she was one of the most popular guests, along with Robert Vaughn, about turpentine and
candida and biofilms and things.
Yeah, but what was her story? Something happened where there's a lawsuit going on or something.
Something. I don't know if the word banished though. I guess I don't remember her. I don't remember the story seeming like she had to leave the country. But
really?
I don't remember. To be honest, I don't remember, and I don't know. I don't think that's normal for doctors to be banished anywhere, but I think in our world it's normal for doctors to choose to leave the U.S. because there's way more medical freedom in other countries. So,
yeah, that makes sense.
That's my opinion, but a lot of people have written in and saying that the turpentine protocol has actually really helped them, and I find it really interesting that Dr. Bergman, our chiropractor who we've had on the show at least 3 or 4 times, and soon to be again, but their office actually hands out papers to people
explain how to do it,
how to do the turpentine protocol. So there's a lot of practitioners that back this thing. So I don't know if they're backing it off of their own proven hypothesis or research doing it, or if they've probably, to be able to actually stand behind that and give suggestions to their patients, it must work for a lot of people.
Well, the thing too is Kevin, is also people need to realize that there's not going to be a whole lot of studies that are going to be done on natural substances. It's not profitable. So it's really challenging too, because I understand what Kevin's talking about, where you want some scientific studies that are showing the efficacy of using something like turpentine. But if they were to do that, then what happens is that they, why take the pharmaceutical drugs if something like this is better? So they purposely make it so that only large corporations and companies can actually have the amount of money. It's sort of like how they price people out of the presidential debates, in order to get on the ballot. On the ballot. I mean, there's a private company that determines whether or not you can actually be in the debates. And you have to come up with, I think, millions of dollars just to be in the debate, and it prices everybody out of it. Thanks to Ross Perot, back in the early 90s.
Was that sarcastic, or are you being?
No, yeah. It was because of him, because he basically bought his way into the debates and screwed up
their system,
the whole system, and so now they raised the amount of money it costs for someone. And so it's the same thing with this, is where they're not going to do any studies on so a lot of this is storytelling, and it's unfortunate because if they did studies, it would show all kinds of really interesting things about sugar and candida and cancer.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
This is one never happened.
Who were we talking to recently that we asked? They had done it, and we said, "Did you put it on the sugar cube?" Was that the Jingslingers? Was it somebody?
Yeah, that's right.
Was it them?
The Jingslingers did that. Yeah,
they had done it, right?
Yeah, they were surprised that we didn't. We hadn't done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
they seem to really back it too. There's a lot of people who have done it. So I'm not saying go out and do it. I'm just saying it does seem like it's been helping a lot of people.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Gustav writes in on a completely different note. I really don't want to sound negative or fear-mongering or anything, but I really feel I have to say something. I'm getting a bit very worried about the situation in the U.S., and you guys should honestly be prepared for the worst. The whole financial system of the Western world is coming down for sure, and this will have severe repercussions for those in the U.S., and not just on an abstract level, but a physical one. I suppose you are aware of the federal forces doing a massive exercise in asymmetric warfare called Jade Helm. From what I know, asymmetric warfare basically means warfare against the general populace. Let's hope I'm very wrong, but seriously, you guys should be prepared to leave if shit hits the fan, and I hope you have some prepper friends or something because time is running out. No need to panic, but stay informed, and I will always be one step ahead. Take care, and best wishes from Sweden, which is probably one of the safest places to live on the planet.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know who we're staying with. Here we come. We're packing our bags, Gustav.
I know, right? We'll be on your doorstep by Monday morning. And please give my warmest regards to Kate and Maggie.
Aw. Wow.
Yeah, this is such a fascinating. I mean, you can take this on so many levels. You know, I mean, I don't want to say that. I mean, who knows what Jade Helm was about, right?
Is about, or what? Who knows? It's supposed to be till the 15th of October.
I mean, I have a hard time getting into negative news, even if it's people like Alex Jones and people like that. You know?
Yeah.
I just don't want to be disempowered.
I really went down that road in the last 6 months, and I had to kind of come back out and focus more on the future and what's ahead, the present future instead of the present. Right. Because who knows what's really going on, but I don't know. Is it really ours to be concerned about? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I realize you don't want to put your head in the sand, but at the same time, too, if you're constantly watching or being around people that sort of go into all this kind of stuff, it is one of the most disempowering things, because then you're thinking about hoarding supplies, but in reality, if you hoard supplies, they're only going to last for so long anyway.
Right.
And
if it's that bad,
and then you got to defend those supplies. You got to buy guns. You got to get this whole thing, and at some point,
kind of just becomes overwhelming.
It's like if the meteorite is flying through the sky, if the Earth really is a round spherical ball floating in space, and there's meteorites, it's like we joke about all the time. I'm not. I'm not saying that, I want that thing to hit my head.
Yeah, just fall right on me.
Yeah. Land on my head. Put a big X
on the earth and let it go right toward me.
Because I'm not going to live in some post-apocalyptic
Who wants to?
world where, it's like Red Dawn, there's smoke rising from the ground, and I'm fighting to survive. I mean, who
wants to survive that?
Right?
Well, yeah, this whole thing with, out of all people, your parents were the one that said, hey, do you know, if you heard about the rapture supposed to happen on September 23rd?
Yeah, and what was that all about?
Didn't they hear it at church or something?
September 23rd?
Yeah, which is, coming up really soon.
Yeah, 10 days from now.
But I looked it up the other night, and I tell you, even that just starts to go to Fear Town.
Yeah.
I was watching a couple YouTube videos warning everyone how apparently this giant meteor is heading toward us, and then it shows all these clips from the Left Behind movies and this Final Impact movie, and it's like this giant tidal wave, and it's taking out all these people. I'm like, then I'm gonna run toward. Give me a surfboard. I'll paddle toward it.
Yeah,
that's fine. I don't want to be running. Like in these movies, they show people getting out of their cars and running and just getting wiped out. I'm like, why? Why? Why would you bother?
Yeah.
I love life, and I don't want to go out that way, but I'm not gonna fight
Yeah.
I'm not going to fight defending something that's going to get you in the end, pretending that I'm going to be okay. And if you're not going to be okay, then I'd rather just go out. That's fine.
You have to realize too that in the end, whether or not you believe in God or what, but I believe that God has our back.
Yeah, I do too.
And if we're supposed to die by a meteorite, landing on our house or starving to death, I'm just really not worried about this kind of stuff, you know? I mean, if I die, if they round everybody up and put them in concentration camps, sure, I'll try to hide and not get put in a concentration camp, but, I'm just not...
Right.
I've kind of just in recent days learning to let go of even my attachment to physical bodies and all that, you know? It's
I know.
like you can't really be too locked up in that one, you know?
I know. I was talking with my friend Robin about it the other day,
It becomes too much.
It does. And she's like, you know what? I remember our friend Pastor Nar too, and Robin, they both responded to something I said about life and death as like, well, really not that worried about the after. I'm worried about now. Like, let's be concerned about what's going on now and in the future, and not worry about like the future being this overwhelming. Like, let's go toward the future with hopes of it being a great thing.
Right.
But not freak out about like what we can't control. Because can we control any of that? No.
Yeah.
What's going to happen is going to happen, and why not just enjoy the ride?
And I think, the Alex Jones stuff and all of that stuff, it's golly, it's
so disempowering.
It's interesting to look at, but man, I tell you, I can't get too wrapped up in that, because it's like, it basically makes you feel like someone else is in control of your life.
Right. Yeah, you're the victim.
Yeah, the global elite and their laws and all this stuff. And that's one of the things I love about the Creditors in Commerce, is it really puts you back in control.
Right.
On a spiritual level, as well as on a commercial level, of being able to control your own life. And that's really what freedom is controlling your property. And you can control your property, and property means your car, your house, your body. So if you don't control your property, you're not free. And so, having control over those things is done through commerce and contract. And so that's why I can't get into the Alex Jones stuff. Like, I find it interesting, and a part of my ego wants to be into it, but I just find myself so disempowered when I listen to that. You know?
I do know. I had to really start censoring myself, because it's so easy to be like, why are they building all these coffins at these FEMA camps and all around the I don't know what all those things are. Like, why spend any time worrying about it? Like, if I'm going to end up there, well, then I'm meant to end up there. Like, I don't want to. And like you said, I would defend myself to an extent. But if we're talking like end of earth apocalyptic thing, I have no interest in being around for that. So let go. Yeah,
let go and focus on creating the life that you want, you know? Focus on that.
While you're here. We're all here for exactly the time that we should be. So let's exactly focus on what we're doing while we're here, not what might or might not happen.
There's a survival summit that was going on right now. It's right now. And, a lot of the summits we promote because they're so awesome, but I just looked at that and I just thought, man, it's just...
I'm sure there's aspects that are so cool, but yeah, you got to protect your headspace.
I would like to learn survival skills, and that's actually on my list of things that I'm going to do is learn survival skills, being out in the in the woods and being able to live off the land, but just for the fun of it, not for like the apocalypse is coming,
right?
And having, what I mean? It's a different motivation. It's like,
I agree.
Being healthy, or eating right, is your motivation to fit into your skinny jeans, or is your motivation to become the best version of yourself?
Exactly.
That's two different things.
Exactly.
And the best version of yourself may not be able to fit in skinny jeans for 5 years or for 10 years or forever.
Right.
But you could be the healthiest version of yourself and still be a little bit overweight. But you're the best version of yourself, and you'll keep going with it. But once you fit in your skinny jeans, then what?
Right. So you fit in your skinny jeans.
Then you can go eat crap again, and then go through the whole thing again. So
you're right.
Your motivation with this stuff, I think, is key.
Yeah.
So we got an email from Chris. He says
that's really nice, though. Like, I'm glad that like people are concerned for us. It's really nice.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, and Gustav, that's awesome.
Thank you.
We still might show up at your house on Monday morning.
With Maggie in hand.
With Maggie in hand. Chris writes in, I listen to your show as often as I can. I was wondering if you have ever interviewed Dr. Douglas Cook, DDS. He has a book, Rescued by My Dentist. He used electrodermal screening.
Wow.
Never heard of him. We'll add him to the list.
The ongoing list.
Yeah.
What was his name again?
Dr. Douglas Cook, dentist.
Okay.
James writes in, hey, Kate, tried emailing at Extreme Health a couple times, but got no response. We are email challenge, or what's the correct term?
I don't know.
Emails are challenging for us.
They are challenging.
On a couple of your shows, you mentioned you were working with Steve Hines, and I was wondering how you like working with him. I am a retired firefighter, and am considering it myself. Thanks and love your show.
Oh, man. When was that written?
That was written August 5th.
Oh, man, I'm so sorry. That's terrible.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's not my strong point. Yes, Steve Hines, I did work with, a while ago, and I had him, his Hope Wellness Clinic, send me some tests and did those, sent them back, and then I had a follow-up consult with him, and yeah, he gave me some great advice. I didn't take all of it, to be honest. Like, he thought I had some, or from what my stool samples showed, I had some sort of a infection from some sort of fish. It was really weird, from eating some kind of raw undercooked fish in my intestines or something, and he really suggested wiping that out with the use of an antibiotic, which he said was the only way in that case to do this specific thing. And at that point I was just like, I'm just not really interested in doing that, and the antibiotic was something that you have to go over the border here in Tijuana to get, and at that point, like, I just was like, oh, it kind of makes me a little nervous. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it now, or not saying that wouldn't have even helped me probably farther along in my journey, but, you know, I don't know. I know there are a time for antibiotics, and I really use them as a last resort, though. But he gave me a lot of other really good tips of stuff to do, you know, the more natural route and things to add in, and probiotics, and you know, I believe that an infection I had actually just, I worked through it and it left my body, because it doesn't seem to show up anywhere recently. So
it doesn't show up on your test or anything?
No.
That's awesome.
I show a bacterial infection in my intestines, but it's not of that sort. It seems to be like a strep infection.
Oh, right.
So, okay. You know, you're just always kind of morphing and figuring out. I love Steve Hines. We're going to have him on the show again.
25th.
And October. I think he knows a heck of a lot. And October 25th?
Yeah.
And I think that his clinic in San Angelo is probably, I think I'd feel really good about going down there and working with his team. So
Hope Wellness. Let me go on, because he sent us a new DVD, didn't he?
Yes.
That we have yet to watch, but we're going to watch that.
He was the one that was responsible for first getting me very excited about the coffee enemas.
Oh, was he?
Oh, yeah. Because we have his other DVDs about how to treat your body, is that what it's called? Or how to care for your body?
Yeah.
His DVD series are awesome. I would, if you're near him,
I would go.
I would go.
I would definitely go.
Yeah.
Let's see. Learn how to treat yourself. Digestion and digestive disorders. Liver and gallbladder detoxification. Colon detoxification. Digestive supplementation. Regulating stomach acid levels. Testing for pathogens.
That's what I did.
A major portion of the immune system is located in the digestive tract. Therefore, a healthy digestive tract can result in a healthy individual. So he goes into all the different ways in this 4-hour DVD of his research on basically what happens when you eat food, when you consume food, from when it goes in, when it comes out. Right. And it's really good.
Have you watched any of the new one yet?
No, I need to.
We're going to before a show, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wish we lived closer. I wish we lived in Texas sometimes, so I'd be able to see Dr. Nunley more and then go down and make Steve Hines my guy.
Yeah, I love that guy. He's cool.
Great. Dr. Feelgood.
Dr. Feelgood signing off. That's right, huh?
Yeah, we should play his at the opening of their next show. We should play Dr. Hines.
Oh, we should, huh?
He's great.
Yeah, I really like Dr. Steve Hines. Hope Wellness Center is doing some pretty cutting edge work, and he was another one of those guys too. We talked to him off the air, and he just kept going and going and going.
Oh, he's awesome.
It's just filled with all kinds of energy.
Yeah, he's great.
So is that about it?
I think that's it. I think it's a cooker, and I think we should go jump in the water, because the water's 75 plus degrees.
Yeah.
Woo!
By the way, are you going to do, or did we find out about those paraglide things at the beach?
I have words out to my friend trying to find information, so I'm waiting to hear back from her. There's these things, for those of you who don't know, we posted on our Instagram, but how would you explain them? Like
it's a parachute with some kind of motor on the back of it. Like, you know those motors that they have? Remember that show Flipper?
Yes.
Back in the 80s? Remember those boats that they would have where it looked like a big open-ended fan on the back of the boat? Yeah. Well, it looks like that, like you're sitting in a chair, and on the back of your chair is one of those open-ended fans.
Like powered by a fan.
But it's huge.
A motor.
And then above you is your parachute.
Right.
And you can glide, you can go super high, and people have been going up over the water of our beach. And on our Instagram account, you can see a video of that. It was pretty awesome.
Parachute gliders with motors. That came up under a search, or for sale. Let's do that, Orange County, and see where they rent these things. Because you know what? That sounds like a really fun birthday thing.
Doesn't it?
Let's see, what are they called? Hang gliding, glider, paragliding, maybe?
Could be paragliding, yeah.
Hang glider. Let's see what this is.
So I just want to thank everyone for joining us too. And as soon as you find out, we'll find out. But okay. I want to thank everyone for joining us on today's show, episode 396.
396.
So everything we talked about will be on extremehealthradio.com/396 on our show notes. And you know what? I completely forgot to say that we don't have any commercials anymore. All of our shows are free, and I forgot to we just started in on the show and didn't even say our sponsor today. Okay, so today's sponsor for today's show is the Relax Far Infrared Sauna. This is a machine and a device that is incredibly helpful for detoxification, for longevity, for disease prevention, for getting rid of fat-soluble toxins and chemicals in your body. And it's a tool that we use every single day. It's really great. It's portable. It's silver lined, so the infrared rays bounce off the inside of the sauna. It takes about 3 minutes to heat up, or not even that, less than that. And it's portable, and you don't have to preheat it or anything. And it's got that far infrared technology, and we sit in there and we just read a book or we watch a documentary, and it's really an incredible. I can't tell you enough. You guys at least look at this thing. We have a couple videos, new ones on our sauna page from Dr. Rhonda Patrick along with Dr. Brian Clement, as well as our interview that we did with Phil Wilson, who owns Relax Far Infrared Sauna, and an audio clip of why we like it, and all kinds of cool stuff on our sauna page. And if you are in the market for one, I highly suggest this is one of the best tools that we have. So go to extremehealthradio.com/sauna to learn more about it and to watch the videos and learn about the features and the benefits and all the really great things. Sauna therapy is huge, and I think should be a part of everyone's detoxification and health strategy protocol. So
it's going into fall, peeps.
Going into fall, yeah,
perfect
it's
time.
The best. It's the best. So go to extremehealthradio.com/sauna if you want to check that out.
Apparently, these things are called paraplanes.
Paraplanes?
Paraplanes, yeah. Wow. Yeah. I tried to look it up in our area, and it's like these paraplanes.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty neat.
There's a paraplane.com.
Is it really?
Yeah, Victorville, California.
Wow. So this is going to be fun.
That's cool. I'm
going to look into all this. Mm-hmm.
And also, I want to thank you guys for using our Amazon link and bookmarking that. Please consider doing that, especially for the holiday seasons. And if all of you guys would support us, nothing changes for you, but if you bookmark our Amazon link, extremehealthradio.com/Amazon, there's a link to that on our homepage. And you use that bookmark every time you make a purchase from Amazon. That helps us so much, and we rely on that heavily to pay our bills, to buy our food for our dog, for Maggie, to buy our own food, and to pay the cost of keeping this whole thing running. And so we appreciate all of you guys that have done that, and it's a really simple, easy way to support us without even sending us any money or sharing our shows or anything. If you just use your bookmark, that's a great way to support us, so we appreciate that.
And please tell your friends. I mentioned that on the last free-for-all. If you guys could tell your friends about that, super helpful, because people order off Amazon all the time. We see all these boxes in our own neighborhood in the trash cans on Fridays when it comes to pick up, and we're like, oh, if you're buying something anyway and you're going to be able to support us, that just really helps. So if it's not embarrassing or you're not bugging people, if you could tell your friends and family, hey, if you're going to buy something, you might want to consider our friends on the internet.
Yeah, tell your friends to bookmark our Amazon link, and that would be really helpful. Another way to support us is via Patreon. We are eternally indebted to you guys who support us on Patreon. And Patreon is a crowdfunding service where you can donate like 25 cents a show, $1 a show, and it comes out of your account once a month. And if you have a Facebook account, you can donate right away. It takes like 30 seconds to set up an account. And you can donate $1 a show or whatever is good for you guys. And that helps us a lot. So we are just thrilled when you guys help us that way too. Good stuff, right? All right.
That is really good stuff.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining us. We appreciate it so much. The show notes are at extremehealthradio.com/396. And we'll catch you guys on the next episode.
Hey everybody, this is Josie, Justin's mum. Don't tell him, but I know he would absolutely be really happy if you would sign up to his free weekly newsletter. And don't forget to share this with all your friends. This is the buzzing bumblebee signing off.
That was so good.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you for listening to this episode.
It's time to go for now, but our mission does not end with this show.
Justin and Kate will be back with another interview packed full of ideas, discoveries and unique ways to regain your health.
Head on over to extremehealthradio.com/subscribe and instantly download our free gift too that contains cutting-edge strategies to start making healthy lifestyle changes today.
No material on this blog is intended to suggest that you should not seek professional medical care. Always work with qualified medical professionals, even if you educate yourself in the field of live food, nutrition, and alternative medicine. I'm not a doctor, nor am I offering readers medical advice of any kind. None of the information offered here should be interpreted as a diagnosis of any disease, nor an attempt to treat or prevent any disease or condition. While information in this blog is discussed in the context of numerous conditions,